Scorpio, welcome to Barefoot Mama Intuitive Reading. This is your reading for the Virgo full moon in February on the 24th. So I was reading a little bit about this full moon, and the energy is kind of like you're asking the tough questions, and while you might want to calculate a sort of definite answer, the answer is not going to be cut and dry. And I was reading something, I'm not an astrologer, but I was reading something that said it's ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, right? But Mercury is currently in Pisces, which is sort of like wistful, dreamy, like ethereal, otherworldly. And so like communication might be a little bit difficult right now. Although for what you've been going through in your reading, Scorpio, with literally coming to a place of like finding that balance between like not needing to go to black or white thinking and like sort of weaving through that middle ground. I think this full moon is going to be really powerful for cutting those loose ends we were talking about at the end of February. And then you might think or look back to your manifestations from the new moon reading we did and maybe check that one out, the new moon in Aquarius. So that being said, if you want a free reading next month, go ahead and put free reading in the comments. You can check out my Patreon, my YouTube memberships, or my Etsy to book a personal reading with me. So all that information is in the description box below. Otherwise, we'll get started. Thanks for being here. So it's a little bit warmer today than it has been in a while, and that sound bowl just sounds a lot nicer. You might be thinking that somewhere warmer just sounds nicer than wherever you're at, or someone warmer. I'm gonna pull one Mystical Shaman Oracle card, one Soulflower Oracle card, just to embrace the I don't know, just the earthy energies I'm feeling in this moon. It's a Virgo moon, so it's also a snow moon, so you might be getting some sort of truth, clarity, or revelation around something and realizing the answer is more complex than you may have thought. Spirit, please protect this reading. Send any negative energies back to sender, transmuted tenfold, for the greatest good of all and harm to none. Archangel Michael, please bring clear, concise messages for my Scorpio. What do they need to know about this full moon? This full moon is about release, right? We release on the full moon and we manifest on the new moon. So what manifestations have come in for you, and what are you releasing to make room? What are you releasing to make room, Scorpio? Taming the Wind, 55. Okay, look at this card. It's beautiful. There's a falcon in the background there. I think that's a falcon. We'll read this card. And then we'll pull a Soulflower Oracle, and then we'll get into your reading. So 5 is the number for change, right? It's the number that indicates it's time for action, time to, just take your move, make your move, step forward. Here the feather, a symbol that is used in clearing ceremonies for smudging, reminds you of the sacred commitment you make to your life. This is the symbol of consciously bringing the spiritual into the material, infusing the world with reverence and an acknowledgement of the higher planes of existence that influence and animate all life. The feather is a symbolic reminder of deliberately entering into a partnership with the Great Spirit to co-create for the highest good for all. Woo! It's time to clear your energy, be present, and become conscious of how you communicate. This is a good time to write in a journal and put your thoughts into a cohesive form. Perhaps you need to actually do a smudging ceremony in your home or office. creating a sacred space to write about your dreams and desires. Just remember that when Taming the Wind appears as a symbol, it is time to honor the Great Spirit within, with reverence and respect. That's beautiful. Especially with this Scorpio collective that's here, you've been doing some major light work, and a lot of the readings that have been coming out lately have been like deeply sort of philosophical and spiritual in nature, and focusing more on like, yeah, releasing drama and being in the present moment in order to commune with spirit, like focus on your path of ascension. And so this is you embodying that and all that means. And that's not a, that's, I don't say that lightly, that's a lot. With double fives here, it might mean a message came out in your reading yesterday about doubling down on like defending or holding your space. So this might just mean like extra, yeah, smudging, like just really super conscious of defending your space, defending your energy, and what it is you say out loud. Earth Mother, please send us a message with your beautiful soul flower cards. You might be being called to spend more time outside, especially as the weather warms. Commune with nature. Find company in nature more than around. In your readings, you have recently let go of some people, Scorpio, so you might find some solace in nature and maybe even more understanding company there. Black-Eyed Susan, recognition. Sometimes it is easier to bury hurt feelings and difficult emotions. Black-Eyed Susan gently helps you to wake up and recognize all aspects of yourself, even those you deem ugly or unworthy. Even your deepest, darkest truths need to be shown the light of love and honored as part of your human experience. So this, I think, is relating to that reading we had the other day called, it was something like warts and all. This is you really looking at, yeah, your shadow and loving it and loving yourself. Black-Eyed Susan reminds us that there is our truth, there is the observer's truth, and then there is the truth. That's the thing about life. We really have no control over what happens outside of us. To think that any amount of planning, organizing, or other method of preparation will gain us some measure of control is pure illusion. The only thing we truly have any control over is our response to life in general. Not an easy lesson, but critical to releasing victimhood and empowering ourselves to lead a fulfilling life, whatever comes our way. The light of truth, then, is the key to recognizing these parts of yourself that you have buried away and hidden. Out of habit, out of fear, out of self-preservation, and out of love. What needs to be brought into the light so that you may love yourself fully? I feel the freedom and love that is found as I shine the light of truth on all that I am. This card is about shadow work. And it comes from a place of not looking at things as good or bad, as higher or lower. You had a message come out recently in your reading just yesterday about releasing like the purpose of your life over to spirit and knowing your place in the game. We talked about the game of Leela, which is the game of consciousness in an ancient spiritual tradition. I'm not super familiar with it, but it's a really interesting thing to look into. But this is you essentially accepting your place on the chessboard, on the game of Leela, in the game of consciousness, and allowing that shadow to be what it's gonna be. I don't really think you're in your like dark feminine era, Scorpio, nothing like that, but it's almost like what happens when somebody goes into their dark feminine era, like they're just like, oh, well, this is what I'm going to be. But there's no reactivity of your ego here. It's just, oh, this one just jumped out. It's 8 of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. So the 8 of Pentacles reversed came out over and over again, and now it's reversed. It's almost like you've surrendered to the divine entirely. Like you're not trying to make things happen. You're in a flow state. There was an Abraham Hicks thing I listened to recently, and I mentioned this in a recent video as well, that talks about the art of allowing and basically resonating with the space of what it is you're manifesting by flowing down the river, instead of like aiming yourself at some place upriver that you want to be at or your ego wants to be at and making it happen. It's like what's meant for you will come for you, and you know this. And there's also this sense of just you not even being you, or not even needing to identify with you at all. Like, okay, what's in the past for Scorpios, please? At the same time, it's like by not identifying with you, you're able to recognize yourself. It's almost like you've achieved some form of, I don't know if it's remote viewing or like it's just some sort of perspective wherein by not focusing, like by not looking directly at yourself, it's like you become clearer to yourself in your peripheral vision somehow. Not the peripheral, but like the subconscious. I'm gonna pull more cards because we're getting into it with this full moon reading. Here we go. This one wants to come out. 8 of Swords reversed. You came unstuck recently from something. You cut cords to the past. You're living fully in the present moment. It's not work because you are here in the flow. Whatever you're doing, it's like, it's just moment to moment to moment. You could be at work busting your butt and you're dancing and singing or something. If you've ever like worked in a kitchen, sometimes everybody back there, they get into a flow together. And it's almost like time doesn't exist. 2 8s reversed. Yeah, it's like time doesn't exist. 2 5s here. You're seeing the projection of, you're seeing the reflection of your projections. And at the same time, almost like not existing because of it. Like, because it's so clear, it almost cancels out the energy of your ego as the conduit. Like, you're literally just a conduit at this point, right now, anyway. Of course, we all flow into other spaces, but Page of Wands. Yeah, this is a new idea for you. This is a new concept, and I think it's really inspiring you. She's also got these chameleon pants on, or these lizard pants that, they're blue. Blue is like a big color for you, communication, communicating your ideas, but the lizard indicates like being able to shapeshift or transform. The lizard's also cold-blooded, so it needs that warm space. We talked about warm spaces at the beginning of the reading, and there's a potentially, because it's under the black-eyed Susan, I've never had this reading for the Page of Wands before, but there might be a part of you that is cold-blooded about like being able to live your life with your freedom of ideas. Like unbridled. Taming the wind, right? Is like, the wind is not something you can tame. The wind is something spirit tames. This is like, I don't know, this is you basically stepping into a role whereby you fully follow your faith. And I don't mean your religiosity, faith in spirit and spirituality, right? Versus like religion, totally different things. This is your personal connection with the divine and like tried, true, and tested. You know at this point how to follow it on instinct. We had a reading yesterday about like you coming back into this bionosis or this instinct that was like impeded by like narratives around civilization or something. And this is you. It's difficult to communicate because it's not something you can communicate. It's recognition. It's something you recognize. It's something that your body knows, that your intuition knows, that your spirit knows. And you feel super excited about this. And it might not show on your face because of where you're at. Again, like your ego is almost canceled out. I'm hearing that book, The Alchemist. Some stuff happens to this person over and over and over again, right? And it's always transmuted into the better thing, transmuted into something, transmuted, like making something out of nothing, no matter where you're at, and not letting it like affect you or get you down, or like, no matter how many times your ego's changed, like your core essence is still, and with this wand here, your core essence, like, is still spirit. It's still that light. Seven of Wands reverse. Oh, this is interesting. So you're doubling down on like clearing your energy, holding your energy, and then you sort of come to this place where you discover everything's energy, and there's no need to be defensive. Yeah. Four of Swords reverse healed. You've been through the portal already. Four of Wands reverse healed. Ten of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, so the Four of Swords reversed is like unrest. It's needing to heal longer. It's needing to like pray. You may need to pray or meditate, whatever that means for you. The Four of Wands reversed is, it can mean divorce. It can mean separation from it, like a twin flame connection. And it can also mean a need to like withdraw from like parties or social situations for a while. You've been, I think, hermiting yourself away to protect your energy. Your Ten of Pentacles is here though. Seven of Cups reverse. You've made a choice that this is okay with you. Like you Five of Wands. I think you feel like the drama and the connection and the strain it requires to engage with other people is something you want. 555. But you had to learn how to tame the wind first, Knight of Swords, and how to communicate, perhaps in this sort of cold-blooded way. The Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight, I think. No, the Knight of Wands is, but the Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight with substance. He's also of the wind, right? That's the element of the swords. So this raven here can indicate communication and messages. And this full moon's ruled by Mercury. Yeah, I think you just needed to learn how to engage in like authentic communication with other people, and I think you were denying a part of yourself that is a little bit cold-blooded, like a little bit like you'll say what needs to be said, and you'll say what needs to be said to come to the aid of others. It can be used for good or for bad, and maybe at one point you were using it for bad, and at this point it's like you've kind of gone through all your shadow work, and you know you have that sharp tongue. It's also a silver tongue is what I'm hearing, so use it wisely. Yeah, use it to, this Knight of Swords in this deck is also the Knight in Shining Armor. Use it to like speak on behalf of people who aren't brave enough to speak up for themselves. I don't know. It's dangerous to say that, right? Because we don't want to get involved in others' business, but somebody needs to hear that. There might be somebody around you who like, they've told you something. No. Yeah, they've told you something, and they've told other people this thing, and then they've sort of just shut down. And I think that whatever they've told you is about how someone else is treating them, and you may need to, like, if you witness that occur, like, speak up in the moment. Not for them, but, or not by saying their words or what they said to you, but, like, speaking up for what it is you value in that moment, maybe to demonstrate for this person. Oh, that's a really specific message coming through. What's the Ten of Pentacles? The Tower. What? Okay. There's family, there's loyalty, there's the dog, there's the Sephiroth, and all of the Sephirah on the Sephiroth have been achieved. This is like the divine blueprint of our, like, of the Kabbalistic, like, tree of life, like, making your way through all of the occult teachings and knowledge. It's also just divine happiness in the 3D and the 5D, in all the realms. You're safe, you're secure, you're surrounded by loving, good company. So why is this a Tower for you? Oh, the Tower might just be your energy. Like, you just feel at home in your energy. Just being the kind of person who brings these freaking Tower moments sometimes. Like, you might just be like, yeah, that's who I am. Whatever, Spirit's working through me, and I'm not gonna deny it anymore. Like, I'm not gonna deny myself anymore. Eight of Wands reversed. Moving at your own pace, living in the moment. Again, this release of time. 888 might be a message that might be a synchronicity or numbers that come through for you. You also have 2 4s, 2 5s, 44 and 55. 3 of Swords reversed, 10 of Swords upright. The 10 of Swords in this deck talks about looking forward to a new beginning. The 3 of Swords reversed is like holding on to heartbreak and pain that has occurred, and maybe still being in a bit of a victimized state. Or not allowing yourself to see this victimized state, or like this pain. What is this 3 of Swords, please, for Scorpio? Spirit. Return any negative energy back to sender tenfold. Greatest good of all, harm to none, amen. 2 of Pentacles reversed. The Devil. So I think that you're like in the process of transformation, but on this card I'm seeing the butterflies and the squirrel. And the squirrel is sort of in the middle world, right? You got the acorn and the butterflies are all kind of flying away, and then this squirrel like squirrels things away, prepares for the future, like lives a really sort of stressed out lifestyle. And with the Three of Swords reversed and the Two of Pentacles reversed, it's like maybe you've experienced like a loss of security one too many times from these Tower moments, and you've sort of been offered a feeling of security that looks good on paper, or looks good, it looks like relief. But the Ten of Swords is you moving to like greener pastures, like closing out this cycle. Something may have happened in Capricorn season. You might be dealing with a Capricorn, or you might be tempted to like keep delving into like occult knowledge. But this is an indication that like that knowledge will come to you as you live your life and as it's meant for you. Like you may have gotten involved with like occult knowledge in a way, like with the Sephiroth here, like you may have gotten involved with some occult traditions that were unfamiliar to you, and it may have caused some really serious lessons. And the Devil here is offering a hand to you to like allow you essentially to forego looking at your heartbreak or looking at a victim mentality or something where you've been victimized, especially as it relates to your security or your stability. Page of Swords, yeah, knowledge. The Devil is offering you a chance at acquiring more knowledge, especially occult knowledge. Being able to spy into the future, to spy in the astral realms, being able to like achieve the wisdom of the Kabbalah, perhaps. Judgment. But you're making a judgment call. You want happiness. And the truth is, Scorpio, that this occult wisdom and knowledge, like you can study it and study it and study it your whole life. And not everybody gets to experience this moment that you're in right now, where like projections are clearly like what you're sending out and reflecting back. Like there's not a lot of people who get to this sort of eclipse of the ego that like shows you with these all these eights, like the back and forth of the like energy between the mind and reality, and the way that the human being acts as a conduit for that, for like this great spirit, right? That's a big deal. And to be able to live life in the moment with that knowledge in your entire being that the divine or God or Jesus or whoever you ascribe to, whatever you ascribe to, walks beside you and supports you, that's a feeling that you can't get from reading scriptures or like or studying. You can touch on it, you know, you can hover around it, but you can't like, it's something that you're gifted, you know, and it's something that you open yourself to receive. And a lot of the times, in order to open yourself to receive that, you have to do some heavy, heavy shadow work and be extremely vulnerable. And you've done that. And this is like your maybe one of many tests, but one of your final tests in this sort of like ending of this cycle is like, do you need to keep learning about this really? Or is life, as it's unfolding in its most precious moments in front of you, showing you enough? Is it not evident? You know, this is almost like the decision between, so like Rene Descartes, right? He was like one of the founders of like logic and science and how we practice that today, at least in its fundamental philosophies. He also invented the art of, I don't know if it's an art, but vivisection, which is like live dissection. One of the books, Nature's Intelligence in Nature. It's another Jeremy Narby book, I think. That guy's awesome. But he talks about how Rene Descartes sort of came from this philosophy that like animals are just machines, like that are animated by a spirit, and so they don't actually feel pain. And so he began vivisection, and like one of the stories was about him cutting a dog's heart while it was alive, like. And one of the stories that Jeremy Narby shared was about how in a certain facility, I don't know where, some scientists are studying bees, and one of the ways that they study whether or not bees can feel pain is by like taking off their exoskeleton after they've like shoved the bee into like a bullet to keep it still, and then like looking at the way the like ganglia like light up on some sort of monitor or whatever, which is a crazy way to experiment on a bee, for one, because it's so outside of its natural habitat or context. It's almost like if an alien were wanting to experiment on human beings and just like plucked it up off of the earth and put it in a spaceship and like jammed holes in it. You know, there's just nothing like, I don't know, it's not natural. And then you can't send the bee back to the hive because it'll like ruin the whole experiment, so the bee has to die afterwards anyways. What I'm getting at, Scorpio, is like there are truths in life that are self-evident by being present in the moment and by experiencing harmony with your environment. And there are truths that no matter how much you pick, pull, or tear apart, the machine will never reveal themselves. And so this is like your choice right now. The machine or the spirit. And the devil's going to come in and offer you the choice to view spirit as a machine by asking if you want to continue to study the occult. Whoa. And your judgment call is like, the wisdom of the occult is in front of me in every moment. This is the divine animating my world. That's cool. Scorpio, that's really awesome. That is not what I expected in your reading today. Thanks, Spirit. Thanks, Universe. I've got like overwhelm. I'm speechless. That was beautiful. I'm gonna pull one oracle card just to wrap this energy up, but I feel like that was a heavy download in like the best possible way. If you do like this video, if that resonates with you, remember to please hit the like button. It helps my channel grow. And subscribe if you haven't. If you already have, thank you so much for doing so. I really love and appreciate reading for all of you. It's a privilege. Okay. 5 of Swords reversed, 9 of Wands reversed, coming out of your victim mentality, coming out of the need to like feel like you're on top or winning. And the Sun reversed, but the Sun is the Sun. Both ways it means the same thing. 5 of Pentacles reversed, ending out your lack mentality. The Queen of Pentacles is nurturing, she's stable, she's grounded. She's loyal. She's steadfast. Here's your key on this cow. There it is. We talked about a key in, I don't remember if it was Taming the Wind or Recognition. But it's like you found the key to this revelation in yourself, in your inner work. This crown here also talks about being crowned by the divine. And then cows are just sacred animals that have been revered, especially like in Hinduism, I think. Please let me know if I'm wrong. I don't want to like offend anybody. But for their nurturing. Also, Hathor, this reminds me of Hathor. So you might look into that if that interests you. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, this is you like becoming magnetized. Your electromagnetic field is like being charged by this. The Sun reverse here with that message is almost like you're being charged from within, from the divine, from this relationship with the 8s that are all over this board, like by being in this relationship with the divine. And yeah, the devil's going to try and take that away from you with like information so that you can busy your mind. You're like, I don't need that. Interesting. I do want to pull one universal truths card, and then yeah, we'll end this out. I just saw that Knight of Swords again. Just definitely the one message coming through as far as advice goes is like, speak up for, whoa, no way. Speak up for people. Speak up for what you believe in on behalf of those who have been wronged or those who are being wronged in your presence. Enlightenment is the card we pulled, Scorpio. That's amazing. Enlightenment is a quiet inner standard of emotions and a silent outer standard of mindfulness. The masters teach the following 4 skills to problem solving. Name it, claim it, tame it, aim it, taming the wind. Wow. Enlightened ones do not put an emphasis on the goal, only how one takes the road to the goal. Yeah, this is you being fully in the present moment, like with faith that it's almost like that book as well, The Power of One. The one thing I really like about that book is that you expect there to be some like great finale ending to PK's life, right? And it's not. There's not really. He's just, he has this sort of super exciting start to his youth, and then some really crazy stuff goes on, and you think he's going to be some sort of immortalized hero, and he ends up being like a normal kind of person. This is reminding me of that. This road is a disciplined commitment whereby we receive any and all rebuke and swiftly self-correct. Striving for enlightenment keeps the universal plan alive. We tend it carefully with no complacency, never needing proof, only providence. Enlightenment is a resonance of light, love, and laughter matched with purity, perseverance, and promise. Do not be fooled. Enlightenment can be obtained in one lifetime. Enlightenment is a sacredness that goes beyond an action. It is a sacredness that is the action. Oh yeah, that's what you're doing here, Scorpio. You're engaging in sacred action by bringing reverence to every moment and to everyone, like, presence, like, that you're interacting with. It's like you're in the presence of spirit everywhere that you go, and you're keenly aware of this, and you've become so keenly aware of this that, like, it is second nature, or it is your nature, and there's no even question or separation. You're harmonized like the bees we had in the reading yesterday. This is such beautiful energy, Scorpio. Whoever you are, I'm so grateful to be reading for you. This is amazing. Thank you for being here. Please keep doing that light worker work. Happy full moon. Bye.